Social media is interesting because it's very confusing. There's so much out there. I mean, there's YouTube, there's Facebook, there's Twitter, there's Instagram, Pinterest, and I could go on and on. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of social media sites. So what do you focus on? What do you concentrate on when you're trying to market your business? Well, the first thing you want to do is you want to blog. That's the center of your business. That should be on your business cards. That gives you a place for you to send people, and use a custom domain. So your business name, your name, something that you're branded with. Your blog can be simple to begin with. It doesn't have to be complicated. Something that probably somebody on Fiverr, which is a website that you can buy contractors, could put together for $100 if you want, or something that you could hire a design person to do if you want a better one. I'm talking about somebody who's short on money. So that's where you start, is your blog. Everything is designed to get traffic to the blog. And then the blog does your selling and your contact information and information about you. Your next most important thing is YouTube. And I was wondering if the YouTube people would be here, the video people, I forget their names.
Hank and Yvonne Charnes.
Yes, because they would like to hear that. But that is the most important social media network, is YouTube, because Google is YouTube. Google owns YouTube. So you need to have videos. The recommendation is over 30. And they don't have to be long. And one technique is to do a nice long interview and then chop it up into individual videos. To do the videos when you take speaking at places like this. Videos are wonderful. Google loves them. And all the videos need to have your website address in them. And they need to point to each other. And the playlist and things like that. And this is something that I can help with if anybody needs that kind of help. Your next most important one is Facebook. Facebook is you can argue that it and YouTube are most important, but the reason why YouTube is most important is because Google owns it. Facebook is second to that. Create a business page on Facebook. Or more than one. I have like 6. So your business would have a business page. Maybe any sub-businesses have business pages, and you just fill them out and use them to get people to you on Facebook. Facebook has its own search engine. It has its own indexing, and it is something that you need to have if you're a business. Anybody who uses Facebook understands that it attracts a lot of people. The next one you need to have is Twitter. Twitter is used as a communication method. Our current president seems to love it. And it's actually very effective. I'm amazed at how much people look at messages on Twitter. I mean, I never look at them. I don't care about Twitter except to tell people what's going on. But there are people who live on Twitter, especially younger people, and target markets and things. So Twitter is very important. And you need to, the important thing about all these social media networks is you need to work them. One of the things that I hear often, because I do this kind of thing for authors now, is I've been doing a lot of social media stuff, and it's not making any impressions on people. They're not buying my products, they're not buying my books, they're not doing anything. Well, how are you promoting? Well, I tell them to come see my site, I tell them to buy my books, I tell them to do this. Now, our networking friends would immediately know the problem with that. You're telling them to come buy your books. That's not the way to use social media. You use social media exactly like you use this network here. You form relationships with people. Like this morning, I started talking to people about how they can sell their books, and started finding out that they're not selling and they have problems. Started answering questions. And then finally somebody said, well, you have a book out. Why don't you give me the link to it? Instant sale. I didn't tell him to buy my book. He asked me. And then the word spreads. He sold 5 other people. I sold 5 more copies of the book. Then he found out I have books on networking, so he bought that one. And it just grows. And that's how you use social media. The same way to use networking here. The problem with it is it's labor intensive. You have to spend time, or you hire a virtual assistant or a local assistant or something to do it for you. I spend 6 hours every single day on social media because that's how I find my business. I'm a ghostwriter, I'm a writer, I sell books. So I pitch myself But I pitch myself by answering people's questions, by helping them. I don't ask for anything back. This morning somebody asked me, like I was saying, I can't sell my books. It's like trying to make a snowflake known in a blizzard. Well, become the brightly colored snowflake, the one that's different from every other snowflake that people can see, the one that has the little red light in it. Become Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, I don't know. But you have to stand out. And every author's going, buy my book. Every realtor's going, buy my house. Everybody's saying, buy my herbs, buy this, buy that. Don't do that. Educate them, tell them, help them, give them advice, give them stories, give them all this. It will take time. And do lots of videos. So, strategy on YouTube, for example. Each morning, I create a video, 2 minutes long. The way I do that is I did a big old long interview that's like 3 hours long, and now I'm chopping it up into smaller 5-minute videos, and each one of those becomes a video on YouTube. They look like they're all separate, but they're not. Somebody interviewed me, and I just chopped it up. Now, post that, then go around YouTube, find some videos that are related, like them, subscribe to the channel, put comments on them, both on the video and on the comments on the video. Because this is the thing that most people don't understand about social media. Google, Facebook, LinkedIn, they're all social media. What does that mean? That means they want to see people being social. If you be social on social media, these search engines will notice that and they will start to send traffic. It will take several months. I'm partnered with a marketing person. She says it takes about 6 months, and then Google goes, wow, this person is a social person. It sees all the likes, it sees all of the shares, it sees that you're talking to people, it sees you're answering comments. It knows a lot about you. It really does. And it knows that you're not trying to scam them because, well, maybe you are trying to scam them, but it knows that you're doing it through the day rather than like 1 hour in the morning you're doing all your social media, so you have to do it through the day, which is why a virtual assistant is great for that. And that's the answer to how you use social media. Treat it as a social platform. You wouldn't walk into a room and say, hi, I'm selling this, 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 hi, I'm selling this to everybody. They're gonna throw you out of the room probably if you did that. And you don't do that on Google. Don't do that on Facebook. Don't do that on Twitter. Don't do that on Pinterest. Treat it as a group of friends, a group of acquaintances, a group of business associates, exactly like you do here. And that's how you succeed with social media. And that is a new business that I'm in. We're actually opening, me and my partner are opening a website next month called Notions in Motion that will help people, specifically authors, but other people, by giving them training on how to do every single detail of this from beginning to end. And that's a new venture that we're going into. We expect it to do very well.
It's the website you have it currently?
It's called notionsinmotion.com. It's kind of new. It will be done shortly. And we'll be selling this kind of service, which is more of a training service. We're not going to do it for people. We're going to train them on how to do it. Because it's... Okay. Any questions? Mark?
Because undertaking all these social platforms maybe seem overwhelming to some of us. Is there one or two that we should definitely be on?
Well, once you've got your blog, start with YouTube. Create some videos. And then go to Facebook. And Twitter's easy. Everything just should be posted to Twitter. Twitter's relatively easy. But if you do those three, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, you're doing great. And if you throw LinkedIn in the mix, you're doing even better. Those four are the only four that I would recommend most people focus on. Other than that, you might have a specialty one. I've got some writing, actually social networks for writing that I use. There might be a one for designers, there might be forums for herbalists and stuff. You might go to those too. It depends on your niche.
So you give us instructions on how to take something we may already have and put it on YouTube?
Yes. Yeah, we can take it from beginning to end. We're offering video courses on how to to do it, and then we have personal coaching.
And there's, imagine charge or some sort.
Oh, yeah. It'll be a monthly site, you pay monthly.
So you're gonna be working on LinkedIn as well?
Yes.